Today we are going to be travelling to potentially one of the most unique spots in the whole of the Baltics.
We have to get a ferry. We've just paid for our ticket. We managed to get away with paying a little bit cheaper because we're registered as a panel van, not a camper van. So we only had to pay €18 for the ferry.
If you are a camper van, I think it's €36, so it's a big chunk down. And yeah, we're in the queue for the ferry now. It's only a short ferry, it's like 5 minutes, so it's quite an expensive ferry for how far you're going.
But hopefully it's going to be worth it.
Apparently it's worth it. We were actually not going to come here because we've actually had to drive up north a bit towards the coast. But when we met Lithuania, they said if you're going to go one place in Lithuania, make sure it's here. So we're really excited. It's quite a very unique spot. It is the Curonian Spit, and it's this length of sand out in the ocean, and it's just like this really narrow spit of land. It's half shared by Lithuania and half by Russia.
Shame about the weather, it's quite stormy today. It keeps heavily raining and then lightning and thunder, but we get little bursts of sunshine in between, so fingers crossed we get some nice weather. We plan on staying a couple of days over here to make the most of our ferry ticket. Then we also have to pay €30 for accessing the spit. I'm not sure when we pay that. When we get there, maybe?
Yeah, oh, we're going.
Nearly there. That's a 2-minute journey. They've literally just put the brakes on. We're travelling for about 2 minutes.
We got out the van, walked to the front of the boat, and then we were there already. People started putting their engines on and stuff. So we were genuinely out of the van for less than a minute.
Last night we moved last minute. Our parking spot, we decided to move because we didn't have any internet. We moved to this spot by the lake where there was loads of young people like listening to music, and they listened to the music so loud until 7 AM. Like the music was just non-stop, bass pumping out. I kind of slept a little bit through it, but it was very like intermittent sleep, so I'm quite tired today and I sort of regret moving on, but I'm a little bit of a tired grouch ball. I think I need another coffee. Sun's out, yay! So our first stop on the Curonian Spit is to Bear's Head Dune. Apparently the shape resembles a bear's head and it's 35.7 metres high.
We are stood right on top of it, so we can't really see it from here. What we can see though is we're looking over the Curonian Lagoon. So this is the area that's sheltered by the Spit, and there's quite a large industrial town here. I guess it's a really good natural harbour. The sand dunes that make up the Spit will shift, they'll move around, and in the past we would swallow up villages and whole houses.
And during the 18th and 19th centuries they had big efforts to reforest these areas to get the dunes stronger again, and they had huge forces of people coming to move here to reforest the land. Now I'm definitely feeling a bit like a grouch ball this morning. Somebody get this girl coffee! We have just paid our €30 for the national park. It came up really quickly, weren't really expecting it. You literally just have to pay €30 for if you're a car or a caravan, so it doesn't matter either way. So here we are at Bamba Bay. Now during the 1800s, when they were dredging this lagoon, they found pieces of amber, and then from then on they set up a huge amber extraction workforce of 600 people and 23 steam engines. Is that what it would be?
They've got all these like weird posts covered in like straw out in the with reeds out in the middle of the water. And they've got one here on the shore here. I don't know what they're for, why they're there. Bamba Bay is a really nice little peaceful spot. It's kind of hard to imagine it being like a hive of industry for the amber. We've just arrived at the Hill of Witches, and before we go and explore we need some coffee. So I thought I would also take the opportunity to make a little bit of breakfast. And the exciting news is that over the last couple of days, mushroom season has begun, and we've done a bit of foraging. So I found some chanterelles, and we also actually found a parasol mushroom the other day, but we've eaten that already. So I'm just going to fry up some chanterelles and we'll have that on some toast for breakfast. All filled up, nice, had our coffee, got a nice little coffee buzz, and the rain has stopped. So we're getting out the van and we are heading off to a place called the Hill of Witches. Yeah. So this behind us is the Hill of Witches. It is said that this is where all the demons and witches used to throw their amazing parties. So the rain is now coming down, but we are embracing it, enjoying the wet weather. All the statues on this park are based on local myths and legends, and these myths and legends are some of the last remaining remnants of the local pagan religion.
It's making me really want to learn some of these stories and legends about the sculptures, because they all have a lot of, they look like they tell a great story, the way that they are so expressive.
In fact, Lithuania was the last stronghold of paganism in Europe, the last non-nomadic peoples to have the official state religion as paganism, all the way up until about the 13th century, long after the rest of Europe had been Christianised.
I love the fact that it's a natural sculpture as well. It's just going to go into this wooded landscape and it fits in well. Eventually it might fall down and biodegrade, but it's kind of becoming part of the landscape. Ooh, this one's got like severed hands.
I found a sculpture that I actually do know the story of. This is the story of Neringa, and Neringa is another name for this spit of land. Neringa is a goddess, and she filled her apron with sand and poured it down into the sea and created the spit to protect the villages inland. With Lithuanian paganism lasting so much longer here than it was in the surrounding countries, it became a symbol of nationalistic pride. And so under the Soviet Union, it was banned, and many of the practitioners were either killed or sent away to work camps in Siberia.
So now we found those mushrooms, I have got constant mushroom vision on. I am dying to find some porcini mushrooms. I think we're still a little bit early, but it's perfect conditions. It's been raining quite a lot, it's also quite warm. And I think when they come out, it's going to be amazing. I found one that wants to give me a big hug. He's got a really cute face. Ooh.
Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, the pagan traditions and rituals have made a bit of a resurgence.
Maybe we should get another witch for the front of the van.
Yeah.
I want to get another one for the van, but I don't think it's going to survive the journeys. They're all made of ceramic. So I found a little pendant to go on my thing. It's amber from the Amber Lagoon here. Tom bought me a necklace, isn't he, sweetheart? I really like it.
The heavens have opened. We've just driven down quite a bit further down the spit. We're going to come and look at some giant sand dune, but the weather's got other ideas. So we've ducked into the back of the van, made another coffee, and Isabel's having a nap because we kept up last night.
It's honestly nothing I love more than being in a cosy van and hearing the rain. It's so relaxing. I only went to sleep for about 5 to 10 minutes. I just knew I needed a little power nap. And I already feel so much better, but yeah, that was so nice, falling asleep to the sound of the rain. I'm sorry, but that is delicious. Well, I put our coats right under the bed. I bungeed them together in this back bag full of winter clothes, but I'm gonna have to get them out. It's too rainy.
It has been raining really heavily for the last 2 hours, but we just hunkered down in the van. Ow.
Sorry.
And just watched some YouTube. But it sounds like it's stopped raining. I think we're gonna risk a walk. We're gonna wear our coats though.
Guys, I've eaten so much food in that last 2 hours. Chocolate, crisp, burger.
The reason we came to this spot in the first place was to try and find some big sand dunes. So we're on a mission. Let's see if we can find them. awesome thing about Lithuania and the Baltics in general is there seems to be toilets everywhere. Nearly everywhere we've gone, whether it's the middle of the woods or like the middle of nowhere, or a car park like this, there's toilets, which is really cool. So this is a really cool spot. It's got some of the slightly more exposed, unforested sand dunes, but you can also actually see both sides of the spit. So over this side you've got the Baltic Sea and the coast along there, and on this side you've got the lagoon. So on top of this giant sand dune there's actually a giant sundial, and this sundial has steps which account for the hours. So it starts at 4, 5, 6, but then the steps are actually jagged, so each of these rows counts for a different month. So it starts with December and it works all the way up to like May sort of time, and then back down to winter. And I haven't seen a sundial that accounts for months like that, which is really cool.
You can see here how close we are now to the Russian territory. So this is the line here, so this sticky out bit, that bit over there is Russian, and this is us here in Lithuania. Let's try and see if we can get down closer to the dunes. It is quite an amazing landscape. It's not like something we've seen before in Lithuania. All this expanse of sand, it's like a desert. I'm very intrigued by these black signs because we can hear loads of creaking, cracking in the distance. To me it sounds like trees are falling down, but it's almost so loud it sounds like it's coming from a radio or a machine. So we've walked to Nida, and this is a small charming little village, and the houses are really cool. They're made of wood and they're just like the sweetest little huts.
So it does feel quite touristy here compared to most of the other places we've been, and that's part of the reason why you have to pay 30 euros to get into the national park. So all of that money goes to the national park, but it also acts to try and reduce the number of visitors they get in order to protect the wildlife here.
So we got 2 ice creams, mango sorbets and 2 fizzy waters, $3.96.
We are back in Bamba and we're going to go find somewhere to park up, but we are 1 mile from the border with Kaliningrad, so I'm just really tempted to go and just have a look and then turn around and go find that camping spot. So I think we're going to go and see the border. We're a bit nervous. We're a little bit worried that we'll get told off or something,
Yeah.
particularly if we're filming. So we're going to try and do it Saturday.
Yeah, look, we're not yet there yet.
Yeah, pretty close though.
There's some crosses in the road. Looks like we can't go any further.
Yeah.
Well, that was the end of that. Couldn't get through.
No,
We'll have to
Russia's
try.
closed today.
I'm glad we tried though, just to see what it looked like.
Yeah. We have just come down to Praila Beach and there's free parking here, and I think you can stay overnight, which is perfect. There are also toilets.
Ooh la la, these toilets look great. We're used to the composting toilet in the forest with poo all over the seat. We're used to the poolu. This luxury flushing toilet with water. I lied, there's poo on the seat.
I'm excited to see this beach. We haven't actually been over this side, the west side of the Spit yet today, and this is the side which looks out onto the Baltic Sea.
It's so nice! It's like proper waves. Wow.
Unfortunately it's a bit too choppy to go swimming, I think, but there is this nice beach bar, so maybe we'll go for a drink here.
You found our table?
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, I made great friends with the barman in there. He said he'd pour me a little extra big glass.
I think it's good. What do you think?
It was €9 for 2 drinks, so it was quite expensive. Not even a pint, 400ml.
This is a really nice spot. It is just a shame the weather hasn't been on our side today. I imagine when the sun's shining, this is like incredible. It's still really nice, but it'd be so good on a sunny day. So we enjoyed our drink, went back to the van, and Isabel's cooked some food.
Oh, I feel like we needed a little bit of health, so I cooked up a ratatouille with garlic, onion, tomatoes, carrots, aubergine, pepper, kale. I think that's your lot. And celery. So it's gonna be yummy to eat some veggies.
I just popped out to watch the sunset. It's beautiful. Hopefully we get a little bit of sun tomorrow so we can enjoy this beach.
I stumbled over my words because loads of people are watching me say that.